I still remember the day my friend Jimmy told me, "Walter, they lied to us, and it's going to cost us everything." I was 25 years old, standing in the town square of Oakdale, Illinois, where I grew up. My heart sank, and I felt like my whole world was crumbling down. My name is Walter. I'm 78 years old, and I'm about to share a story with you that will reveal one important lesson: the danger of blind trust. I grew up in Oakdale during the 1960s, and it was a beautiful town, surrounded by cornfields and a strong sense of community. I had a group of friends, Jimmy, Mike, and Sarah, and we did everything together. We worked at the local factory, played baseball on the weekends, and went to the movies on Friday nights. But one day, the town's mayor, Mr. Johnson, announced that a new factory was going to be built, and it would bring in hundreds of new jobs. We were all excited, thinking that our lives were going to get better. The factory was supposed to be a state-of-the-art facility, producing the latest technology in electronics. Mr. Johnson told us that it would be safe, and that we would all be able to work there and provide for our families. But here is what I never told anyone, not even my closest friends. I had doubts from the very beginning. I remember walking home from the town hall meeting, feeling uneasy, and wondering if we were being told the whole truth. As the construction of the factory began, we started to notice strange things. The workers were wearing hazmat suits, and there were weird noises coming from the side at night. We would see trucks filled with strange equipment driving in and out of the factory, and we had no idea what they were doing. But every time we asked Mr. Johnson or the factory owners about it, they would just tell us not to worry, that everything was fine. But here is what happened next. One of the workers, a man named Tom, came to our local bar and told us that the factory was not producing electronics, but something much more sinister. He said that they were making chemicals, toxic chemicals that were being dumped into our water supply. We didn't believe him at first, but then we started to notice that people were getting sick, really sick. Our friends and family members were falling ill, and some of them even died. It was then that I realized the truth. We had been lied to, and it was going to cost us everything. The factory was a poison, and it was killing our town. I felt betrayed, angry, and helpless. I didn't know what to do or who to turn to. But here is what I learned. The hard truth is that sometimes the people we trust the most can deceive us, and it's up to us to seek the truth, no matter how hard it is. The revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. Blind trust can be deadly. We should never blindly follow someone or something, just because we think it's the right thing to do. We should always question, always seek the truth, and always be willing to stand up for what is right. But here is what I never told anyone. I still think about what Jimmy told me that day. "Walter, they lied to us, and it's going to cost us everything." It's been over 50 years, and I'm still angry, still hurt, but I'm also wiser. I know that I'm not alone, and that there are many people out there who have been deceived, just like me. Going back to that day, I remember Jimmy's words, and I realized that he was right. They did lie to us, and it did cost us everything. Our town was never the same, and many people suffered because of it. But I'm glad that I can share my story with you, and I hope that you will learn from my mistakes. If you want to hear more stories like this, please subscribe to my channel. As I look back on those difficult times, I'm reminded of the people who were most affected by the lies and the aftermath. My friends, my family, my neighbors, we all suffered in one way or another. Some lost their homes, others lost their businesses, and a few even lost their loved ones. The pain and the struggle were real, and it's something that I will never forget. But even in the midst of all that chaos and destruction, there were moments of hope and resilience. I remember the way our community came together to support each other, the way we rallied around those who were struggling the most. We shared what little we had, we offered a listening ear, and we provided a shoulder to cry on. It was a difficult time, but it was also a time of great beauty and great strength. As I reflect on those experiences, I'm struck by the power of truth and the importance of honesty. If only the truth had been told from the beginning, if only we had been given the opportunity to make informed decisions, perhaps things would have turned out differently. Perhaps our town would still be thriving. Perhaps our lives would be easier. Perhaps our hearts would be lighter. But that's not what happened. Instead, we were fed lies and half-truths, and we suffered the consequences. We were forced to pick up the pieces, to rebuild and to recover. It wasn't easy, but we did it. We found a way to heal, to move forward, and to rediscover ourselves. And in the process, we learned valuable lessons about the importance of trust, the danger of deception, and the power of forgiveness. I've often wondered what would have happened if I had spoken out sooner, if I had challenged the lies and demanded the truth. Would things have turned out differently? Would our town have been spared the pain and the suffering? I'll never know for sure, but I do know that I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned to be brave, to be courageous, and to stand up for what I believe in. And that's what I want to pass on to you, my audience. I want to encourage you to be brave, to be strong, and to stand up for the truth. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And don't be afraid to seek out the truth. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. As I close this chapter of my story, I want to leave you with a sense of hope and a sense of purpose. I want to remind you that you have the power to create positive change in your life and in the world around you. You have the power to seek out the truth, to stand up for what you believe in, and to make a difference. Don't waste that power. Don't waste that opportunity. Use it to make your mark, to leave your legacy, and to create a brighter future for yourself and for those around you. And as you go forward, I want you to remember my story. I want you to remember the lessons that I've learned, the struggles that I've faced, and the triumphs that I've achieved. I want you to remember the importance of truth, the danger of deception, and the power of forgiveness. And I want you to use those lessons to guide you, to inspire you, and to empower you to create the life that you want, the life that you deserve. As I stand here, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this moment, I am reminded of the countless individuals who have touched my life, who have helped shape me into the person I am today. The mentors who guided me, the friends who supported me, and the loved ones who stood by me, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. Their influence, their encouragement, and their unwavering faith in me have been the wind in my sails, propelling me forward, even in the darkest of times. And I want you to know that you, too, have the power to make a profound impact on the lives of those around you. Your words, your actions, and your presence can be the catalyst for transformation, the spark that ignites a flame of hope and resilience in the hearts of others. Don't underestimate the significance of your role in the lives of those you touch, for it is in these relationships, these connections, that we find the true meaning and purpose of our existence. As I look back on my own journey, I am struck by the realization that the struggles I faced, the obstacles I overcame, and the triumphs I achieved were not solely mine to claim. They were, in fact, a testament to the human spirit, a spirit that is capable of overcoming even the most daunting challenges, of rising above the ashes of adversity, and of emerging stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. And it is this spirit, this unbreakable and unshakable force, that I want to leave you with today. I want to inspire you to tap into its power, to harness its energy, and to unleash its potential within yourself. For I know that you, too, have a story to tell, a story of struggle and of triumph, of heartache and of hope. And I want you to know that your story matters, that it is worth telling, and that it has the power to inspire, to motivate, and to uplift others. So, I urge you to be brave, to be bold, and to be unafraid to share your truth with the world. For it is in the sharing of our stories, in the vulnerability of our hearts, and in the authenticity of our voices that we find true connection, true community, and true healing. And it is in this space of openness and honesty that we can begin to heal the wounds of our past, to mend the tears in our fabric, and to forge a new path forward, a path that is guided by the principles of truth, forgiveness, and compassion. As I bring my journey to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought, a thought that has been at the heart of my story from the very beginning. It is a thought that has sustained me, motivated me, and inspired me to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. And that thought is this: that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you are deserving of love, of respect, and of compassion, not just from others, but from yourself. Remember this, hold it close to your heart, and let it guide you as you navigate the twists and turns of your own journey. For I have no doubt that you, too, will emerge stronger, wiser, and more radiant, a shining testament to the power of the human spirit.